Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges of Blaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leather Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
What is going on? Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast with TbT and Ace. I am TbT. That guy over there is Ace. Welcome to episode 160. If you are joining us in the chat, be sure to say hi, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Boom, I just did. And get the info out there. The more you help us, the more we help you. That's totally not true, but still, it's something. What a week. I know last week we mentioned this when we got started. Tons of news last week, and it seems like as soon as that was over, more news started piling in. We've got retirements, we've got tours, we got all kinds of stuff to get into this week. So it'll be impressive. We got a lot. Plus, of course, in about 45 minutes or so, we will have our pour of the week. Fantastic band that we came across and reached out to, and they were more than happy to have us feature them as your pour of the week for this week, for episode 160. So we're excited about that. We're getting close to Turkey Day next week, and then it's going to be, excuse me, then we're just going to be right across, a few days from Christmas.
Stop.
I there's a reason I brought that up. And I know that there are probably a bunch of other people that have already done this, and I don't know why it irritates me, but it does. These people got the Christmas trees up already. One of them happens to be our moderator.
That's been going on for a couple of weeks now.
I think it's been going on since October.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
I
don't understand.
I actually did want to get at least my living room arranged and prepared for decorating, but not yet decorating because it takes a little work. We have to rearrange the whole living room downstairs to do our Christmas event. And it looks really nice, but we have to do a little prepping for it. So I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to set it up yet.
As you shouldn't. It is now still just November. It is not time.
Right. No, it's not time. There is plenty of time to enjoy Christmas cheer.
Yeah.
I think the Viper leaves his up year round.
I'm pretty sure he needs psychiatric help.
I know people that have a tree in every room of their house.
True.
Already decorated. You have two, right?
Not yet, but by the time it's said and done, I can count at least 3.
Okay, we will have 3.
But only 2 in the house, one of which will be out in the Garage Mahal, the concert hall of all concert halls. One will be in the living room, maybe, and then one will be here in the studio. And I don't know. I don't set them up. This is all Mrs. TbT. She says, I'm putting one here. And I'm
what
like,
is your contribution?
I say it looks good.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's reasons because she has particularly done these in a way that she wants them done. One of them is absolutely fantastic. And just yesterday, to bring up more Christmas stuff, we found a new tree topper for the one that's put here in this studio. It is probably the blackest of all Christmas trees you could ever see. But it's the best looking Gothic tree you've ever noticed.
So what is it?
What is what?
Your new topper.
I'm not telling you that. You'll have to wait and see.
Will the crow be discarded?
No.
The raven? Whatever it is?
No, he will still be there. He just may be off to the side.
Or you could split the top.
Oh, no.
You could bifurcate the top.
What? What did you call me?
And put one on each prong.
Not exactly, because the new one is large.
That's what she said.
But he may be able to go right in the middle. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's not here yet. We just found it.
You had to order this?
Yeah.
You ordered it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, we need one. We don't have one.
Yeah. Amazon. I'm waiting because Amazon's Black Friday, not to give them any mad props, their Black Friday sales start tomorrow.
But that's not...
It's, you know what? They put up their Christmas tree already at Amazon. And so they're doing Black Friday a week early.
Well, and here's the thing about Black Friday. It doesn't really matter anymore.
No, it used to be great. It used to be cool. Remember Cyber Monday?
Right. That was
doesn't
an
exist
exclusive.
Anymore.
It does, but it's not relevant.
Right. Here's a prime example. I need a new pair of headphones for some of the audio stuff that we do around here. And I put them in my cart the other day. Lil TbT, my daughter, for you new listeners that aren't aware of who she is, Lil TbT said they're less than $200. Jump on them. There's some fancy headphones. I was like, great, I need them. Wireless, blah, blah, blah. Found them on the Amazons, put them in the cart. It didn't push buy. I just put them in the cart. Save for later kind of thing.
Yeah.
I went back, no kidding, an hour later, and they went from ballpark $165. They are now $249. It goes without saying, they remained in the cart.
Because you didn't buy them when they were on sale. You didn't lock in the price. Wouldn't it be cool if you put them in save for later that it locked in the price?
Oh, yeah. Like I'm grandfathered into the price that it was when I put it in the cart.
Right. That would be awesome.
Not happening, apparently. So now I'm playing Black Friday Scrooge. Bring it on. I want it. Show me the price.
It will happen. Here's what will happen. You'll have another event or another day or something before or after Christmas where those might even be cheaper.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching. I literally just checked like 2 minutes ago, and they're still ridiculous. I don't need them that bad.
And I didn't. We Black Friday shopped a little bit, the wife and I, but I always like the event. It sounded like a cool event because so many people were going out.
I used to
commiserating and doing all the things, buying and then clubbing each other over the head. And I get the one time I went, we went twice, but I remember one time distinctly. The mall in Bloomington opened up. All these people are in there, right? And for some reason, there was a gathering outside of Victoria's Secrets. And I'm talking about a mob. They had the door down, the chain pull door garage thing. And they have a lady on a podium making the proclamation of
what is with you and all these big words tonight?
Proclamation is not. Wait, Kiefer. I tried to get rid of the squeakies, but I am not smarter than that dog. So
you're trying to sound like it anyway.
She's up making this declaration of what this event's going to be, and as she's talking, someone very smart inside the store starts rolling up that door, and every word she said became irrelevant because everyone was sliding under the door, diving under the door, knocking her off the podium. Before it was halfway up, that entire mob was inside Victoria's Secrets.
I'm not surprised.
It
we
was
used
crazy.
to we used to have decent stores where we're at in this town. And I used to enjoy Black Friday shopping. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You start here, you go to Bloomington, Indiana, go to Bloomington, hit the mall, hit all of those stores there, when there was actually stores in the mall, pre-COVID, much, much earlier. And then maybe drive somewhere else, Greenwood, go just outside of Indy, wherever. Now, I don't leave my house. I don't want to. I will shop on the web.
Well, right, but we're of the age where maybe that's kind of where we are in life.
But we're probably smart, so we don't trample people.
And I think though that a lot of it's going that way, and it's sad in a sense. That's why we don't have as many stores as we used to, because everything's so readily available online.
Right.
And it's there almost as quick as you could go buy it.
I can get my Victoria's Secret delivered to my doorstep.
Yeah, you can, and very quickly.
The cashier's not as cute, but still. I want to say hi to Mama TbT, because she's in the chat. She's saying hi. She was the first one in. Came in at I don't know, probably 5 o'clock. Not really. Mrs. TbT's in. Of course, Kathy is in. Hello, Kathy. We're glad that you're in here nice and early. As you can probably hear, Ace did not do a very good job of hiding squeakies.
I didn't hide them. I thought putting them over here on this table would help, but
I'm literally just trying to get you in trouble.
I already am.
Oh, well, that's fine.
You don't have to try.
Good. Back to what we were saying earlier. Tons of news. We're gonna start off, I think, with the we had 2 things here. We got 3 things here when it comes to touring. One of which you and I were kind of having a little conversation about a couple days ago, when it was announced that Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner are heading out on tour after they have announced the Double Trouble Double Vision tour for the summer of 2026. The special guest is Six Gun Sally. There's some unique perspective to take with this tour.
It's a co-headlining tour, I think, right?
Yes, it is a 19-day co-headline across North America, confirmed for the summer of 2026, of course, produced by Live Nation.
Right. And
however,
you could go ahead if you want. I'll jump in.
However, one unique fact that probably a lot of people don't realize is that when you go to see said Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner, you will not see a single original member of either band. Unless there's a special guest appearance, or at least for Foreigner.
Right. There's a possibility always that Lou Gramm could show up. He's not announced on these dates, so we can only assume that he's not doing these dates, but his relationship has been really good with that end of the group, and I think he'll probably pop in.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I know of that a headline tour, the headliner won't have an original member at all. Gary Rossington passed not that long. Well, 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago.
And he was the last original member of Lynyrd Skynyrd. And Mick Jones hasn't really been active in Foreigner in 3 or 4 years. And Lou Gramm's been on the outs for a long, long time until recently, but he's not announced for this. So, yeah, you're going to see. You don't even have Kelly Hansen when it comes to Foreigner.
Exactly.
Who was the lead singer over 20 years.
Yeah. Now,
one thing about Skynyrd, you will get. Hang on here. Johnny Van Zant.
Yeah, you were going exactly where I was going. This isn't taking anything away from the artists that are in these bands. I mean, you're still talking Jeff Pilson, who everybody
Right.
should know, is in Foreigner, and like you just said, Johnny Van Zant. It's just the fact that we're talking about original members.
Right. Right. It's really I mean, because the this is the saying, the brand is bigger than the band.
Right.
And we've talked about this in the past. That, that bands. That's why bands fight over logos and the name so much, because that's how you tour.
Yeah.
Look at George Lynch, who just realized that I'm more recognizable if I use Lynch Mob.
Right.
He wasn't for a
Look
little while.
Look at Great White. You have Great White, and then you had Jack Russell's Great White. This is the only time I can remember, because I haven't really thought hard on it. This is the only time I can remember that we've not had original members touring.
Right.
At least a lead
least
singer.
one. Right. Look at Faster Pussycat. I think you have Tammy still is there. At least he's the singer.
Yeah.
We have him. I don't know the rest of the band, but I know he's original. I think there's one.
I think the bass player is as well.
In Enough's Enough.
Chip.
I think there's only one. Yeah, I think that's about it. You're running into that now, where there's one, maybe two guys, but
White Lion.
Well,
Mike Tramp,
they're not
is
really
it?
Right, but he's representing himself as a solo artist. Am I correct?
No, he's going out as White Lion.
Because that's the name. That's the brand.
It's all about recognition. Now, I would recognize Jeff Tate. I would recognize the name Mike Tramp and be like, oh yeah, it's the lead singer of White Lion. But how many people that don't keep up with the news, don't keep up with stuff like that, and know where these bands go, wouldn't do that name association?
Right, and a lot of that is what's counted on. Sometimes I think for these artists, when they go out, they're counting on people just looking at Leonard Skinner, Foreigner, and saying, "Oh, I know those songs," and that's good enough. They go, they buy the ticket.
Yeah.
I've told you the story before where I went to the 30th anniversary of Journey, and I was with a mutual friend. We met one of his friends who said he couldn't wait to hear Steve Perry. And we had to inform him that Steve Perry had not been in Journey in a very long time.
Yeah, a little late.
He almost left. He almost left the venue.
I want to, real quick, I want to jump in the chat real quick and say hi to Jason. Jason hasn't been on a chat in a very long time. Very happy to see him in there. If you guys remember, Jason was actually one of our first sponsors with Bad Company Barbecue back when he had that going. So, Jason, thank you very much for joining. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoy the episode. This Foreigner Leonard Skinner co-headline tour, 19 appearances. And they're pretty much all over the place. It's kicking off July 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. All over the place. Probably they're doing some back-to-back shows. 23, 24, 25, and 26 are back-to-back. Then they jump in again August 1st in Grand Rapids. They do hit Noblesville, Indiana at Ruoff/Deer Creek, whatever you want to call it, this week. And they will end August 29th in Rogers, Arkansas at the Walmart Amphitheater. How original.
Right. That sounds so not corporate at all.
Right. There are some dates where Leonard Skinner is going to headline without Foreigner. That'll be July 17th and July 18th, both of those shows in Florida. One at West Palm Beach, one in Tampa, and then August 11th and 15th in Sturgis and in Tinley Park, Illinois. Foreigner will do the same thing in Elk Grove Village, Illinois on July 17th, where they will headline without Leonard Skinner. It'll still be a good show.
Oh, that's the thing. It'll still be a great show. It's not that these bands aren't good.
Right.
And it's not that the people in the bands haven't been core members for a long time, especially Foreigner.
Yeah.
And I do think that Skinner is even saying that it's more of a tribute to the music of Leonard Skinner.
Sure.
I think they've actually come out and said that. Fair enough. But still, it's fascinating to think about. We're in this era now where we don't have original members anymore. No, we're heading that way. I don't think we talked about it on air, but we talked about it privately. That Triumph, my favorite band, is now working on a different iteration of that band without Rick Emmett, Gilmore, Mike Levine, and they're just going to put something together and call it Triumph and have it go out. Which I don't even want to get into how you do that, but that's no original members.
Yeah.
For a band also that, as much as I love Triumph, doesn't have the name recognition that Skinner or Foreigner does at all.
Right. At least not in this country.
Right. That's a huge risk. To throw let's throw that out there and see how it goes. We'll see.
Yeah, I can foresee this being something that we eventually get from Kiss. And we've got we could do this whole episode on Kiss news from this week. But
yeah,
that is something I could see them doing to carry on that legacy.
Yeah, they've talked about it.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that Gene and Paul's kids, there's the next incarnation of Kiss. And it's not going to be them. I don't even think they're going to be real people.
No. They had talked about it one time before the Avatar thing.
Right.
Auditioning members, people to be in Kiss. And here's the thing about Kiss. You can't tell me that those people, if they ever did put a band together and call it Kiss, they would put it in makeup, and that they wouldn't have original makeup. It would be Spaceman, Demon, Starchild, and the Cat. It would.
Absolutely.
Because that's the brand. No matter what you think about it, I would object to it, but that's what they'll do, and they'll put them out there like that because that's what everyone knows.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, it'll probably happen without needing to get the permission of Gene and Paul, since basically,
right?
We'll get into this a little bit. They sold everything.
Right, they sold everything. They can't just go out and do whatever they want now. They have someone to answer to.
Yeah,
I got one bone to pick. I know we're jumping in a little early on the Kiss
do
stuff,
it.
But my brother sent me something today that I objected to so much, and it was at one of those AI generated TikToks where someone, how they do like an actor or actress through the years kind of thing.
Yeah,
this was Kiss. Like before and now, and they had them walking side by side on the streets with their older counterpart. So they would have Paul in his makeup, and then Paul Stanley now, and Gene in his makeup, and Gene now, and then they did Tommy and Eric in the makeup then and now, which hasn't been that long. Then they did Ace Frehley, and they had a non-makeup version of Ace, and Ace as he was prior to his death. No makeup, just this is Ace, and then they did the same thing with Peter Criss. They did the same thing with Vinnie Vincent, no makeup, and that just blew my mind that someone would think this was cool to do this type of generated AI thing, because who originated the spaceman makeup and the cat makeup? And maybe I'm making too big a deal of it, but that just like disparaged their legacy with that band. You could do both.
Sure.
And just people should figure out, they use the makeup over and Ace sold his rights to it or whatever. But nope, they did a whole thing. They had Mark St. John in it, which was kind of cool, but they had every member. But those two, specifically three actually with Vinny, not in the Ankh makeup, which made no sense because his was actually original makeup.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was Vinnie Vincent Invasion, Vinnie Vincent, and then as he is now, which I thought was ridiculous. I typed him a big rant about it. My brother told him what I thought. I think he thought it was cool, and then he regretted it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to write that down, not to send you those. Those things are all over the place. They do it with a lot of, like you said, actors and actresses and stuff like that. I've not seen the Kiss one, but yeah, I mean, you would want that to kind of be more iconic and show the truth. Because
Right.
that's almost a lie. It's a lie TikTok.
Well, right. If you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's Ace Frehley, and he was in the band.
Yeah. Oh, he was cool, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wait, who are these other guys?
Exactly. Yeah. Here's Spaceman. That's that guy right there. That's not Ace Frehley. That's what bothered me. That's what bothered me.
I can understand it.
And that's a problem a lot of people had with the version of Kiss that was out now.
Well, that's a lot of what people have problems with AI anyway. Yes, you're putting your prompts and everything in to do this, but maybe the creator just got lazy. Maybe the creator just did not know and said, "Show me something Kiss" through the years,
Right.
And that was that.
That could have been it.
Yeah, he should be fired.
Right. Well, yeah, and double check his work.
Banned from TikToking.
China already did that.
True that. Big news. If you are a fan of Mötley Crüe, as Mötley Crüe has announced the return of the Carnival of Sins, which was a major 2005-2006 tour. They have announced the new tour, which is now called the Return of the Carnival of Sins. They are calling this a major 2026 North American tour celebrating two milestones. Number one being the 20th anniversary of the groundbreaking 2005-2006 Carnival of Sins tour, and more shockingly, the 45th anniversary of the band. This is going to be another tour, of course, produced by Live Nation. This tour will stop in 33 cities across North America and feature performances by very special guests, Tesla and Extreme,
who are still out there promoting that great record they put out just a couple of years ago.
Exactly. Back in 2005, when Carnival of Sins tour first hit the road, it was a full-scale production, pretty much pushed the limits of live shows. Lots of grit, humor, high voltage energy. The staging was ridiculously elaborate. It was great. I remember seeing that tour in Pensacola, Florida. And I was blown away. It was amazing.
This the one where they had the rotating drum kit that went upside down and all that, or did they do something else with Tommy's
I
drum
don't
kit?
remember. It was the scantily clad clowns that did it for me.
And so you were totally distracted.
I couldn't even tell you if there was a drummer on scene at all. Yeah. Probably one of the best Mötley Crüe performances I think I've seen. And I've seen them a few times, but that Carnival of Sins, I can't remember how old my son was, but I took him to that show with a warning prior to, and said, anything you see, you don't repeat it after you leave. And it lived up to it. It was great.
Yeah, I've never seen Mötley Crüe live. I had an opportunity maybe on the Dr. Feelgood tour, which would have been a great one to go to, and
sure
didn't happen, and I just never worried about it after that. But you were still seeing them when they were probably really, really good, 2005.
Oh yeah.
We haven't went off the rails yet, but yeah. But I will say we are getting 3 out of 4 original members in Mötley Crüe. So
for sure.
Matter of fact, we are getting Tesla. Tesla is almost not well. It'd be 3 out of 5. Troy Lucetta,
right,
recently retired. They don't have Tommy Skeoch, but other than that, you're getting a big chunk of that band, and Extreme as well, I think, but I'm not sure.
I am so excited that Extreme is on this tour. Between Gary Cherone and number one, Nuno Betancourt, I am absolutely thrilled for this show. General on sale tickets go hit tomorrow, or actually Friday. However, if you have like a city card or you have the Mötley Crüe VIP codes or whatever, tickets have actually started being sold today.
Wow.
One interesting thing is through the Mötley Crüe Give Back Initiative, $1 from every ticket will be donated to ASAP, which is After School Arts Program. It is said to be a cause close to the hearts of the band members. With federal grants to music programs and schools being cut, millions of children across the U.S. risk losing access to creative, life-changing education and experiences in the arts. ASAP's mission is to nurture resilient, empathetic young people through hands-on programs in music, art, writing, theater, and play. So that's kind of cool, as long as, every $1 actually goes. Coinciding with that tour announcement, Mötley Crüe's Theater of Pain, the 40th anniversary deluxe box set, is now available.
Really?
I have not checked the price. I'm afraid to. It's a must-have, as they all say, for fans. The box set features re-imaged artwork, the newly remastered album, which is actually available digitally as well. A newly remastered album on color vinyl, never before released 1985 Long Beach live concert, and a 76-page hardcover book packed with never before seen photos and memories from Mötley Crüe's Theater of Pain era.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did they interview them recently about this, or in the moment back then? Because I don't know what they would remember.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I will say, Theater of Pain gets riddled a lot and ripped a lot for being not that good of a record. I actually like it better than Girls Go with Girls, which I don't think is that good.
I think it's more raw.
Which one?
Theater of Pain.
Yeah, maybe so. But I just think it's got better songs. Not all the way through, nothing like that. But
sure,
just the handful that I like, I think are superior. I don't think it's a bad effort at all.
No,
and a badass album cover
for sure. 33 cities is what this tour is going to hit. The return of the Carnival of Sin. If you didn't get to see the original back in 2005, I highly, highly recommend that you go check out this one. One of the things I was thinking, I was actually telling Mrs. TbT, and I don't mean this in any necessarily like bad juju or anything, but this may be our last time getting to see Mötley Crüe.
Why would you ever say that?
I'm not trying to throw any weird energy their way, but I'm just saying it could be. I'm not going to take that chance. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to this show. I have to go to this. So I'm going to go. Tour kicks off July 17th in Pennsylvania. It goes through a lot of places. Not even going to touch on those. Blah, 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 blah. August 28th, Noblesville, Indiana. Yep. Ruoff Music Center, Deer Creek, whatever you want to call it. August 28th, 2026. Think about this, and I don't know if this is what you're getting ready to touch on. It is November 19th. Today is November 19th. It's live. November 19th. December. This thing isn't for another 9 months.
Right.
And tickets have went on sale.
Which I find fascinating. Fascinating.
Absolutely.
I was thinking, you mentioned going. I've never seen them live, of course. And of course, we pick on Vince's vocals and all this other stuff. Regardless, actually. This might be something that would replace a tour that I was going to go to, but now may not even happen. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But we have one that was a big announcement, and now it's not even off the ground.
Yeah.
So this may take that place.
This one's going to be big. Of course, Mötley Crüe, seeing them is going to be good. Hopefully, like you just mentioned about Vince's vocals, hopefully it's fantastic. If it's not, you still get, and I'm going to throw this out. I'm not a big fan of Tesla. I could never get into that Tesla groove. However, in what was very close to our album of the year recently, Extreme. I absolutely love that new album. I love Extreme. I've been a fan of Nuno Betancourt for years.
Yeah.
And I am highly looking forward to seeing their performance.
Right. And you're going to get two really good supporting acts that might make up for anything that Mötley Crüe might lack. And I will tell you something. When you're there in the moment, I've said this before, it's not nearly as bad as you think it is when you're there and you're in the moment and you're enjoying yourself. I saw Van Halen with Roth in 2015, and it's David Lee Roth. I thought he did all right. I thought, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough. But if you listen to the live record they put out around that same time, it's almost unbearable to listen to. So the thing is, if you're there in the moment, you'll probably enjoy it just fine.
Yep, exactly. As you alluded to a while ago, one tour that may not happen now after being, it was never really announced, but it was definitely talked about. In a new interview with the hair metal guru, Poison drummer Ricky Rocket spoke about the status of the band's previously proposed 2026 tour to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Poison's debut album, Look What the Cat Dragged In, which was released in 1986. And thanks to our friends over at blabbermouth.net, they have transcribed part of this interview, and it's important to get this out there. According to Ricky Rocket, he says, at this moment, it's no different than it was a few months ago where we got an awesome offer from Live Nation, of course, and CC, guitarist, Bobby Dahl, bassist, and I, Ricky Rocket, drummer, agreed to the contract. Talked about it. It then went to Brett's lap, and it hasn't moved, according to Ricky Rocket. He continues saying, now we're at a point probably where I don't think we can get that tour to happen now. If by October you're not moving on a tour of that size for the following summer, here we are November talking about an August concert.
Right.
It's really, really hard to shoehorn that thing in and get it to happen. It's not impossible, but it's super, super hard. There are a lot of other comments in here. There's no infighting in the band like there was back in the day. But however, I don't know. This for me is extremely disappointing. I love Poison. I love their live shows. They are phenomenal. Even if you weren't a big Poison fan back in the day, you cannot go wrong at a Poison show just from the energy and just all of it. Yeah, their lyrics can be cheesy, but who cares? It is so much fun. We mentioned this a year ago, probably, when they were doing the tour with Mötley Crüe. People were going to see Poison. Yes. And show after show after show after show after show would say, wow, that was a great show. But Poison was the best out of all of them.
Right. Every night. Night. And that's, a credit to them, but also Bret Michaels just kills it every time.
Yeah.
All his energy. I don't understand how he has just so moved on from this band. He is so moved on. There's rumor that it's about money. Nothing is confirmed. We don't know that.
Right.
But I just think when I read about what they say about the money, where Bret wants the lion's share of the money, I think that's like setting a price at $1 gazillion because no one will go there because you don't want to do it anyway.
Right.
You don't want to do it anyway because what incentive? Let's look at it this way: what incentive does Bret Michaels have to do this tour? Because he tours every summer with whatever he does with this road show and the summer tour thing, and what is other than celebrating the band, what is there?
This would be for the fans. This would absolutely be epic for the fans.
It would.
Because
it would
how many times we've talked about it. The lineup that they could have had. They could have had Tesla.
Yes.
Extreme. And it could have been Poison on that headlining tour.
Right. We talked about if Skid Row got their act together and found a singer, if Rat got their act together, think of those slots opening for Poison and how cool that would be. You would have so many people our age or younger at those shows, and it would be, like you said, for the fans.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that Brett doesn't care about fans. I'm not saying any of that. I just don't think that Bret Michaels sees the incentive in touring as we just did it. He'll say, we just did it not that long ago. They saw us. But I would hate to be in Ricky Rocket's position and want to do this so badly, but you can't do it because you don't have the guy.
Yeah.
You don't have him. And this is four original members.
Original. That's key.
Right. Now, if this happened in the late 80s, early 90s, they would probably have auditions for singers just to show Brett, hey, we can do this. Remember that with who was it? Black Sabbath would do that sometimes, and they would bring other people in to try, or Aerosmith would do it if Steven Tyler was dragging his feet, try to give him a incentive to come in and do a studio and a tour.
Right.
You'd have all these stories about Rob Halford trying out for Aerosmith or something, just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But they know they have to go out as Poison with Bret Michaels or they can't do it. It's the same with Mötley Crüe. Whatever you say about Vince Neil, they can't tour without Vince Neil as Mötley Crüe. They can't.
Yeah.
We love John Corabi. You and I both love John Corabi.
Absolutely.
And if he was singing right now with that band, it wouldn't matter.
No,
no one would go.
We would. We'd still be there.
Right, we would.
Yeah.
But
it's
has to be Vince Neil.
It's very disheartening. I'm very, very disappointed. And we don't have everybody's input on this. This is just an interview with Ricky.
No, because Brett's not said anything.
Yeah, which in itself is him not saying anything, maybe saying a lot. Exactly. But of course we'll stay on top of this. Because I really want it to happen. Is it now going to be pushed to 2027? So it's the 41st anniversary instead of the 40th. I don't know. I think it's a missed opportunity.
It is.
But there's so much more to this story, though. There's got to be.
Well, we didn't get into it last week, but there was Ricky Rocket was in the news last week when he was talking about Bret Michaels, guitar player, minding his own business. I don't know what that was about, but like you said, there's more. Yes, it's drama on that end. There's more going on, things that we don't know about. I don't think there's infighting, but I just think that there's separate camps that want to do separate things.
Yeah.
And I think one side wants so bad to be doing Poison stuff. And one guy is like, why? Why would I?
I'm doing great doing all of my stuff on my own.
Right. He is. That tour he did with what's he call it? The
Margarita band.
Well, no, it's got a name.
Oh, his Margarita festival thing.
Right, whatever he calls it. That has done so well for 2 years that, he's doing all kinds. It's not just him. He's bringing other bands in. They're doing sing-alongs and celebrating all sorts of music. And I think that's where his heart is right now, is that sort of thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. But I hope something comes up. I really hope this can work. I would even be okay if it made it to 2027. But like you said, when we were talking about Mötley Crüe, this was the expected tour to make sure the can't miss show.
Yes. And we talked about it. We would go. Front row. We're right there.
Oh,
if we could afford
it. In a heartbeat.
But now I could maybe substitute that, I guess, with Mötley Crüe and have something.
But I don't want to. I love Mötley Crüe, as much crap as we give them.
Right, and we do.
I love Poison more.
Well, and we do give them a lot of flack. We do, but that's because we expect a lot, and we care.
Right.
I don't pick on Vince Neil's vocals because I think it's funny. I do it because I care. Same with John Bon Jovi. We picked on him a lot.
Yeah.
With his vocals. It's because he set such a high bar.
Yeah. That's been our stuff since 1980, whatever, as we show our age.
Right.
You know, but whatever. It sucks. Obviously, we'll keep our eyes on everything, and hopefully we can come back with some other news at another time. But right now, as I promised you at about 45 minutes ago, it's that time. So,
wow.
Enjoy.
It's time for your Pour of the Week, brought to you by Petty's Pour Decisions. From the foothills of North Carolina, where the air is thick with grit and the riffs hit like a freight train, this is Set for the Fall. Born with intention in 2011, they've carved their way out of the dark, evolving from a tight-knit crew into a full-scale sonic assault, fusing metalcore brutality with melodic heartbreak you feel in your chest. Battling their own wars with depression and anxiety, they turned the pain into purpose on anthem-loaded records like 3 Nails and Still Just Breathing. Tracks like Dead and Gone, Product of Pressure, and the punishing new single Fail come swinging with open-vein honesty, plenty of aggression, and all-out vulnerability. If you live on a steady diet of Breaking Benjamin, Seven Dust, and Red, this band slides right into your bloodstream. On stage, Set for the Fall doesn't just play a show, they take command, turning crowds into choirs and pain into a battle cry. Off stage, they're just as real, using their platform to fight for mental health awareness and suicide prevention through benefit gigs, honest conversations, and a message that refuses to look away from the darkness. Pushing harder, louder, and heavier to prove that from the most broken places, something ruthless and powerful can rise. We proudly welcome Set for the Fall as your Pour of the Week, right here on the Weekly Pour podcast with TbT and Ace. Craving a bar that rages as hard as your mosh pit? Petty's Pour Decisions rolls in with a mobile bar that slays weddings, parties, and epic events. Custom cocktails, killer service, no lame excuses. Why settle for weak vibes when you can crank it to 11? Head to Petty's Pour Decisions on Facebook and ignite your next gig. Pour Decisions never rocked this hard.
There you have it. Set for the Fall. Phenomenal band. North Carolina.
Band.
Absolutely incredible. I highly recommend you guys go and check them out. Their new single.
If you like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the new single that was mentioned. It's if you follow them on social media, mainly TikTok, you're going to get bombarded with that song. But that's what you do as an artist. You put your stuff out there. This new single, it has a freaking hook that I find myself singing as I find myself singing as I'm like driving down the road. I'm listening to a podcast and I've got that just going through my brain. It's great. These guys have been going since, 2011?
2011.
First album, I believe, was 2016. So we're talking almost 10 years, since that first album. A phenomenal band. I was telling Ace before we went on the air, there is not a track yet that I have went through on their albums, on their singles releases, on any of it that I'm like, skip. I've been listening to every single one of them. So highly recommend you check out Set for the Fall. Check them out. All of the links to their socials are in the episode description. And we appreciate them giving us the opportunity to feature them as our Pour of the Week. I should end the show right there.
Right there.
Yeah, but I can't because we have so much more to talk about with 10 minutes to go.
We have covered a lot of ground, but yet not every story.
Yeah. I'm going to jump into this. A couple of the stories we'll fly through. Actually, I'm going to fly through this one real quick just because we talked about the tour earlier with Poison and Mötley Crüe. Of course, they toured a few years ago with Def Leppard. Rick Allen has come out in a recent interview with the Sessions panel where drummer Rick Allen was asked if there's any new music in the works. And he has responded basically that there is lots of new music for Def Leppard coming, although we can't talk about it right now, blah, blah, blah. He says they are loving the music, and he figures if they love it and they like it, well, that means the fans are going to love it too. We hopefully, we'll hear something in early 2006, if not by the end of this year, at least a single, because I know there was talk a while back that they wanted to get a track out before their next residency in Vegas, which I believe is in February. So it'll be nice to get something there, hopefully. Fingers crossed, if you're a Def Leppard fan.
They're very prolific. They're always working. Always working, either shows or new music, always.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they always put on a good show. Always.
Oh, that they do. Always.
Yeah. As we mentioned probably about 35 minutes ago, this entire episode could have been nothing but Kiss news because there was just so much going on, especially after the Kiss cruise landlocked in Vegas, which was the official name. Doc McGee, who, if you don't know who Doc McGee is, he is the manager of Kiss and has been for, I think, 83 years now.
Legendary manager of Kiss and other bands.
Absolutely legendary. He gave basically a sneak peek at 3 big projects that Kiss is planning to release here in the near future. Just because they had their end of the road retirement tour doesn't mean they're done giving us different things. It just means they're not touring until they come back to tour. But that'll be another episode. There was a Future of Kiss panel at the Kiss cruise, and one of the people that was there, they were joined by, I'm going to get his name wrong because it's foreign, Johan Lagerlöf. Sounds right. He is from Pop House. If you are not familiar with Pop House, Pop House is the company who bought Kiss's catalog and image rights. That is very, very important. Image rights for a reported $300 million back in 2024.
They're also behind the ABBA stuff that's going on now.
Right. Which leads us into the whole thing about the avatars. There is an avatar show that is a work in progress. Yeah, there's. What do you say?
The headline right here says the Kiss avatars look much better now. So they announced this shortly after the last tour ended.
Right.
The show I was at was one of the final shows, and they were showing a preview of what you might see at a Kiss Avatar type show.
Yeah.
And it looked more like some sort of anime cartoon kind of thing, where they were heroic band people, almost in the vein of a comic book. So I don't think that's exactly what they had planned, but they were wanting to just get it out there that they're doing something.
Yeah.
And they're saying now, though, it's a work in progress and it may take a couple of years to get this right.
Good. I don't want half-assed Kiss avatars out there.
Well, would you pay to see? We've talked about this. Would you maybe in the Sphere something like this would really do something? Maybe.
There's also we mentioned this. I don't know how many episodes back, but there is a Kiss movie that is also going to happen. It is supposed to be at least 2 times better than Kiss in the Phantom of the Amusement Park. So they are still reportedly looking for lead actors for this.
I almost said Kiss in the Phantom of the Opera is what I almost said.
Yeah, they're still looking for lead actors for this big screen biopic. So there's no release date. There's no information about production schedule, release date, or nothing like that. As they're still going with this. However,
there are 1,000 cover bands that could probably do this.
Yeah, Chris Jericho should be at the top of that list. However, what we will see probably in the near future is a documentary about Kiss's 5-year-long end of the road world tour. As it'll be one of the first major projects to see the light of day. A trailer debuted at that panel that they had, and Doc McGee was said that the goal was to take the larger-than-life WWE element, I'm guessing character stuff here, out of the band in favor of a fly-on-the-wall approach that showed the band's real personalities. Doc McGee went on to note that after 5 years of filming, they've spent the last 2 years editing thousands of hours of footage. He says you'll see a whole different side of Kiss, and promised that while describing the documentary, the biopic, and the Avatar show as a 3-part plan to help the band continue to reach new generations of fans.
Right.
So,
that's where the avatars live. That's where this documentary lives. I wonder how raw this documentary will be. How deep are we going to go?
Probably very.
I wonder because I would love to see them actually present Paul Stanley's track cabinet. Here's all the tracks that I happen to have to sing or something. But they just did the show this weekend, the Landlocked show,
right?
And from what we could tell, there was no tracks being played because Paul sounded very real and sounded pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yep,
it wasn't terrible. It was okay.
It would have been just like you said about going to a Mötley Crüe show. You're there, you're not going to care. This is Kiss.
Right.
One of the things that also came out of this, as the current 4 members of Kiss, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Tommy Thayer, and Eric Singer, of course, took part in a question and answer session that was moderated by Fozzy frontman Chris Jericho. Somebody basically asked if we could expect any more music. And apparently, we may be getting something. I don't know what. But Paul Stanley says, I've been writing.
Right.
I don't know if that's checks from his part of the $300 million for Kiss, but he's been writing, which is kind of cool.
He said that any new music from Kiss is going to be much more, and he's always been good about this. Paul Stanley is a very optimistic guy. It's going to be about self fulfillment and uplifting and, climbing that mountain and all that stuff that he likes to sing about when he does. It's going to be, it won't be, let's put the X in sex. It won't be that.
No, because that probably would not go over these days. But I mean, we just named off 3 or 4 different things that are coming from the world of Kiss. I just went country there and said Kiss. So that'll be exciting to follow to see what we actually got coming up. A couple more stories as we bring this episode to an end. One of the biggest announcements in the past week, and this was probably, 6 days ago. So this was like the day after last week's episode. 74-year-old British rocker, also known as the lead singer of Deep Purple from 1973 to 1976, and then his own band Whitesnake, David Coverdale announced his retirement. Full-fledged, done.
I think it's odd because he's been retired for a while, but I guess we made it official.
Yes, we've made it official. He has been semi-retired without the words coming out. But he basically came out and said he's done. Part of his statement read, I love you dearly. I thank everyone who's assisted and supported me on this incredible journey. All the musicians, the crew, the fans, the family. It's amazing, but it really is time for me to just enjoy my retirement, and I hope you can appreciate that. Once again, I love you with all my heart. Fare thee well. So there's the end of an era with David Coverdale.
Right. David Coverdale is one of the best singers in rock history, period. So, the end of an era, a guy that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Deep Purple.
Right.
Because everyone went then. But yeah, this is a tribute to him David Coverdale's awesome.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So we absolutely wish him the best of luck in his retirement. Hopefully we still get something out of him, whether it's just interviews, something. We still need that out of him. Our final story of the night, as we go over and have to pay additional bills now, in celebration of one of America's greatest rock and roll bands, Genesis Publications has announced an official chronicle of Van Halen by Alex Van Halen, who of course is the founding drummer and co-founder of Van Halen. This is going to be featuring a dynamic blend of iconic photography alongside rare and never before seen images with exclusive access to Alex Van Halen's private archives. The years that are going to be covered for this book are 1978 until 1984. Very interesting.
Right.
And you can actually go to VanHalenAnthology.com to sign up to be notified about the book. We have no price. We have no release date. We have nothing. The cool thing, though, is that this is signed, written, and curated by Alex Van Halen.
Well, his book that came out, Brothers,
right,
just a while back, did very well, and but it wasn't like, I don't think, exclusive to Van Halen, and this will be a little bit more about that and that era of Van Halen. So, and if we're getting some archival stuff from him, that's going to be great. The things we've never seen before. We all want to get into the Van Halen archive, right? The vault.
Exactly.
So we're getting pieces of it slowly.
Yeah, as news about this starts coming out, I'm sure we'll get more. There could be very well a track released at some point from the vault or whatever. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. As we bring this week's episode to an end, I want to thank everybody for showing up, for listening, whether you're listening to us live or listening to us later on until we are back next week. Of course, don't forget to check out our Pour of the Week. Set for the fall, check them out. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank everybody that was in the chat room for tonight. Even Natalie, who decided to show up late, as always.